my kind of professional front of house career started on a summer of festivals, I got very used to dealing with whatever was thrown at me. And it would be a variety of drum kits, a variety of backline, a variety of microphones. And often in those changeovers, back then, sometimes you wouldn't be able to get back to the stage in order to sort out mic positions and stuff. So I got very used to dealing with anything. And so I'm not that particular with mics. I do have favorites, maybe showing my age. I absolutely love a D12 in a kick. It's just my absolute favorite kick mic because it has a kind of like a floppy slap that even with two mics in the kick drum, it's quite difficult to be able to get that. And the closest I came was quite a cheap mic made by Bayer, an Opus mic that I got a set given to me on one of the tours, and that mic just shone out because it's one of those situations where you can just use the one mic, and sometimes when you're on a festival, that's what you need. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of open to anything really. I mean, I love, given the opportunity, love 414s overheads. Absolutely, I know it's not cool, but I love 421s on racks and floors. Love a 57, maybe a BD57 on the top of the snare, and I tend to really just use the top snare mic because, again, it's because I show my age really. That's kind of how it was. So just kind of going with that. I'm, open to anything on hats, and I love a 609 on guitars. Vocal-wise, I had a massive learning curve. I was on a big world tour, and I had an artist who was using a 58. It was a 58 wireless, and as part of the set, she'd throw it on the ground. So we were getting through capsules every other day. It's absolutely ridiculous. And the monitor guy suggested we try a Sennheiser wireless, and I think it was a 935, and pulled it out at sound check, started it, and it just changed my life overnight because the rejection was so much better, and I realized, compensating for the sheer amount of band volume that was coming through the vocal mic. And this particular artist would regularly at festivals and even at gigs, if the stage allowed, run in front of the stack or the hang. And I'd previously been panning it on the other side quickly or kind of like pulling out certain frequencies, and it just changed my life because of the rejection and because I guess it was just a more modern piece of kit. And since then, I've steered much more that way. 58s are great mics. I have some. but in those circumstances where you have a quiet vocal, it truly opened a whole other world for me and allowed me to actually perfect my mix, whereas previously I couldn't because there was always this kind of ambience coming through the vocal mic. I was in, I think, Lithuania doing a festival, and it was a two-stage setup. So they were plugging in on stage, and as is my habit, as they're just checking mics and things, I'll just kind of bring gains up and try to get my mix together as quick as possible. And I was carrying a rack, plugged my rack in, all looking good, and I was waiting for the monitor guy to catch up, and I was kind of standing back, kind of, arms folded, kind of eye on the other band, watching my guys set up, and I was on an H3000, and suddenly a lot of smoke started coming out through the top vents. So I kind of said to the system guy, I said, hey, is that some kind of added extra? Is there a button for that? And he's like, what? And I went, the smoke. And he's like, oh my God! Kind of kicked the power supply off. And it turned out that our monitor guy had ordered a DigiDesign Venue, I think it was, to use on stage. And the PA company had hired one in from the UK, and it had different colours on the mains cable. They took the plug off and they were going to change it around, and they wired earth to live, which didn't really agree too much with the mic freeze. So I had about 5 minutes to move from an H3000 to a Legend that was behind me, and had to basically unplug everything, carry my rack around. This is a big old rack I had as well. I kind of carry it around and plug everything back in, and absolutely guesstimated the gains, and we had to get going. So we just got going without a sound check and got away with it. Absolutely got away with it. I managed to pull the show together in the first kind of 30 seconds, as you do. But it was just a bit hairy without having listened to anything through cans or anything. It was madness. But we got away with it. I dread to think the state of the pre's in that H3000. That must have cost someone a lot of money.